How do I take it off now?
Oh,
Wait.
oh, yeah.
Okay,
There.
we are on live streaming now. So let me welcome everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to New Moon Update from Astrological Association. At the same time, I want to say Happy Halloween, Happy Diwali. Is any holiday going on at this moment? Happy New Moon. So today with us is Wendy and Alejo. Hello, both. How are you?
Hello, Ron. I'm great. Hi, Leho.
Hi, Rod. Hi, Wendy. Hi, everyone who's watching. Yes.
Yeah,
Happy
so
Halloween, everyone. Be careful
yeah.
tonight.
But be careful. Why? It's just candy. It's
Happy
just us.
Halloween.
Yeah. But it's true on the social media you will see a lot of a funny video, but also some pretty spooky. To be honest, some of things I just like. No, I don't want to see that. Who invented Halloween? Why we want to see that terror picture? Anyway, but it's also quite interesting because it's the month of Scorpio. And that theme was kind of tied together, isn't it? Alejo, so could you give us some basic idea about this new moon in Scorpio while I'm post this link everywhere to invite people to join us?
Okay, yes, of course. So for me, the new moon in Scorpio. Scorpio, I'm thinking of the idea of purging, the idea of cleansing, the idea of going deep and taking the dirt away, the toxins out of your body. And with the new moon, I would say this is the moment where this process starts to be demanded from your body. So I would think of the idea of, okay, let's have a look into your own life about what things are asking to be purged. And maybe you will not have the complete idea yet. I think this is the beginning of the thought. And when we get to the full moon, maybe you're going to start the true kind of purging out. You know, it's like when you do this kind of detoxing exercises, and you start drinking all of these things, and then after a few days you start seeing all the toxins going out. So this is what the first thing that comes to my mind when I see this new moon in Scorpio.
Cool. So, Wendy, about you, how do you see this new moon?
Yes, I love that. Purging,
Yeah.
getting rid of all the things that no longer serve you in your life. It's about, and of course, Scorpio, it doesn't take really many prisoners or casualties. It's quite ruthless. It's quite lovely that Halloween is tonight because it lets people bring out sort of their alter ego. They can express that, and it's passion as well. So I think it's really nice to think about something that really floats your boat, that's something that's really important to you, so that you can try and manifest that. And this new moon is very good for that, particularly because it's trine Saturn.
I really like both what you say, Alejo, about the purge, and you bring that alter ego, that hidden self out. That is another major theme of the Scorpio, the hidden themes, and then sun and the new moon in the Scorpio. We can really showing that side of ourselves. Probably just because at this moment I to be honest, compare with you two, I have no right to complain my work is too hard. But I just think about it's darkness and the night is long, so we get more time to rest.
Yeah.
You two, to be honest, if our audience don't know, these two people, them working really hard. They work constantly 24 hours. When every time you contact them, I'm in middle of a meeting, I'm in middle of a conference, I'm in middle of something. It's just like, when are you going to race these two?
I don't know. I think you work a lot also, Rod. But this
Yes.
new moon, like Wendy was saying, this new moon is trine in Saturn. So talking about work, maybe it's also a good idea to kind of look at what aspects of your life you think are starting to need some kind of boundary, some kind of restriction, some kind of order, because Saturn brings containment, right? And And because it's trining the new moon, perhaps it's offering the opportunity of finding new ways of containing yourself. And it could be work, but I will also, because everything is in water signs, I would also think of the idea. I love this idea when they came up of the alter ego. So perhaps finding a vessel, how to contain the darker side of you. And when I say darker, I mean like more hidden side of you, not so much the evil side of you, but the hidden side of you. So finding ways to bring it into the world in a way that it's contained. So for instance, the Hollywood thing is a fantastic way of doing it. Yes.
Yeah, interesting. So, Wendy, how do you see this sun, a new moon, try with the Saturn? What they can bring us?
Well, I like when Alejo said that, it's a good time to detox. The good thing about a trine to Saturn is it really helps with discipline. It actually helps you continue on that path. So even though it's quite hard, and some people, you're going to be careful not to be too hard on oneself, but it does help with discipline. Anything that you sort of need to get on with, Saturn is very good at ensuring that you do. It gives you, a bit of leverage there.
Definitely. And then, well, I'd like to offer from another view of the Saturn, which is, I think for the last couple years, we have started moving into Pisces. And we know Saturn really, its quality, probably we can imagine not really enjoy that in the emo sea, and then things are changing and not sure, and everything is blur and not very clear. Saturn will stay there for nearly 2 years and suffering there. I mean, suffering, probably not, but it's like kind of very confusion because Saturn like a straight lines, like something well defined and things very clear. When that's 2 years with this Saturn finally probably learn the experience and become an expert to dealing with the ambiguous situation, or maybe also kind of gain wisdom about dealing with the things keep changing, the changing world. So this trine probably can offer us a little bit, wisdom and experience about the challenging situation. For example, I know. I shouldn't say. I think everyone knows that the coming up week is the U.S. presidential election, and then the tension is there, and they are so tight. They are so tight. We really don't know who has a chance to win. So there is uncertain. Everyone you met, they will say, how does this world going to become because of the big superpower country going to choose their leader? And what if we don't like their leader? What are we going to do? Everyone from every corner of the world ask this question. But the Saturn player as an anchor to give us a wisdom, to work with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I was.
sorry,
You go, Wendy. No, you go.
I was going to say Saturn and Neptune, both in Pisces, hasn't happened since the 1840s. But the interesting thing about that, and particularly with the election, is people look back rather than forward. When you've got Saturn, Neptune, and Pisces, sort of draws to the what has already been, rather than what are we looking towards. So that is going to enter into that. But it's very complicated. And it's going to be very tense from then till now. But Saturn and Pisces can be really beautiful as well. There's a lot of lovely things that are going to come out of that, and it's a really lovely time to heal. I mean, heal and be healed. Yeah,
definitely. Yes. Alejo, what do you want to say?
No, I was thinking about the idea of agreements and kind of the structures that we have built. When Saturn is in Pisces, maybe they go through this phase of reshaping and transformation. But when you were talking about this opposition in a presidential election, I was thinking of the opposition between Mars and Pluto right now, because this new moon is happening in Scorpio, and Scorpio is ruled by Mars traditionally, but in the modern or postmodern world or wherever we are living now, we added Pluto to the rulership of Scorpio, right? So this idea that both of the rulers of Scorpio are in opposition. So I was thinking this, there are two ideals are in opposition, I would say. Pluto in Capricorn, which can signify renewal, again, renewing structures, renewing the way we have built society. But it could also mean other things. And Mars in Cancer, perhaps, which could mean the idea of being driven to act from our emotions, from our feelings, or our senses of belonging. And I'm thinking how this opposition is maybe being expressed through both candidates, what side each candidate takes in this opposition. And I'm thinking like this inner struggle, I think, is probably within all of us right now. And of course, the Americans, they have to choose now how to solve this struggle.
Yes, I agree with you. I think you're quite right. The U.S. presidential election, the two candidates, they are manifest, they are the surface. But indeed, with the inside of our heart, or everyone around us, we have that kind of two opposite idea. To be honest, the Mars and Pluto, there is a slightly similarity. So these two things, they look like each other, but they are different. They kind of against each other. So that is like a reflect. They are showing us what our inner struggle in, you know. So Wendy, how do you see this opposition?
I see it like a very tight rubber band that's really pulling. But there is some really lovely stuff with this too, in that even though there's that opposition, which is very tense, it's even a bit scary, you know. It is that Mars Pluto, especially with the new moon in Scorpio. But what we have, which is quite beautiful, is we have almost a Star of David in this new moon.
Yeah.
We have it with Mercury in Scorpio at 28 degrees, Pluto at 29 Capricorn, Neptune at 27 Pisces, Uranus at 25 Taurus, and Mars at 28 Cancer. So all we have is we have these sextiles around the chart that almost form a Star of David. But when you have all these sextiles, there's opportunity. So when you have a hard aspect like that, you need a soft one or a harmonious one to kick that into action and to make it positive, progressive. And so they're all in earth and water. So this is, you know, churning up the wheels here, and making things happen. It's, you know, that Mars Pluto makes things happen. It's enduring. And it's also at the really last degrees. So it's really desperate. And so with those sextiles, I think things happen, you know, things can be brought to fruition, and it can be quite positive. But it is at those last degrees, but they are all sextiles. So it's really nice. People have opportunities. They can sort of see how things can be done. And for anyone listening out there, if you're born around, I don't know, the 23rd, 22nd, or at the end of any of the earth and water signs, if you're born at the end of those, you are, especially that for Virgo, because you'll fill in that missing star for the Star of David. And it will be very beneficial. And for anyone else, it's nice. It's like just opening doors, so you've got lots of opportunities to do things. So I think, yeah, it's it's a very complicated, very dynamic new moon, this one.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I think it can be. Yeah.
Yes, I think while Wendy talking about this, I have an image about this huge machine, like a huge gear set. And these are Mars and Pluto playing the dynamic, the one who engine who provided the power to kick things off. But all the little gear is like, click and running around to make things happen. And suddenly, yes, this Mars Pluto looks like pretty intense and make some people scared. But when you added those sextile and trine, when you add them in, they become, yes, it's tough, but we can make it. We can deal with it.
Can I give it? It's funny. I was
Yes,
talking about this to
please.
students the other night, and when we were looking at this chart, I had the memory of when I was 18 and I drove my car, a little mini onto the beach, and I got it stuck in the sand. And the more I kept trying to go back and forth, it kept getting deeper and deeper. And we're talking about the beach, so it's water and earth here.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was really scared that my car was going to, and then not really knowing how light my car was, two guys came along, picked up my car and put it up on the side. I didn't had no idea how light those minis were. So it's a little bit like that. It's like, for me, it's like churning up that sand thinking, oh my gosh, my car's going to get swallowed up by the ocean, by the tide coming in, thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And two guys just came along, picked it up, put it over, and it was all fine. And it was funny, and I'm still remembering it decades later. So it's, you've got to look for the opportunities, I think. You've got to, doors open, but you've got to see the door, when that happens, I think.
I'm really
So
sorry.
hail to help.
I'm really sorry. I have to add something in before Alejo. I invite Alejo to talk about it because yesterday I watched another video on Instagram. Similar situation. A lady teaching everyone what if you are thinking in the sun, on the beach side. What if you are thinking in the mud, and then with water and the sand, you couldn't get out. So how are you going to do it? You have to kind of use your knowledge. First lose one part of it. And then when you get one leg out, you could not stand up. You are unable to stand up. You have to use your knee because it's like most powerful and most flexible. And also lose another bit and then get out. So it's like a wisdom. It's like a trick or
and that
technique.
Saturn, try Saturn, use your knee.
yeah, try Saturn. Yeah, wow, that is beautiful. So, Alejo, when we put everything together, what do you like to share?
I really like this image that Wendy used. I think this idea, and I was thinking actually of also cars. I was thinking of how a car works, that first you have explosion, right? We don't see it, we just turn on the key. But actually you have explosion, and this explosion starts creating all of this kind of mechanism to work, and the cars moves forward. So I was thinking about this idea of, okay, what kind of explosion we might be living in this Saturn Pluto? What kind of inner explosion is it asking for it to make us move and maybe get all of these gifts that Wendy was talking about? And I agree, this idea of looking inside, being able to see aspects of ourselves that we don't usually want to see because of all of Scorpio, and also because of all the water. So this idea of trying to see how does this experience of being in this world right now sits for each one of us, like how do we walk through life, and how does it sit inside of us? What is it that we need to feel safe, to feel okay, to feel that we can go on, and what things, like we were saying before, we need to start to kind of let go of.
Beautiful. Well, before we ending today's session, I would like to invite Wendy also, share a little bit, idea about this Scorpio New Moon.
Well, and listening to Alejo talk too, it's very inspiring. I just thought this is a pirate new moon. It's a pirate. This new moon in Scorpio and the Mars Pluto opposition. It's very pirate-like. And it is about seeking the treasure, and there is treasure to be found here. So that's what I plan to do.
Love it. Alejo.
No, I think I don't have anything else to add. I think that's amazing. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. And let me quick summarize. Well, so it could be a very is related to peerage and very healing, and we can apply this powerful dynamic between Mars and Pluto to work things out. Especially you have like Wendy's talking about the late degree of the water sign and the earth sign, especially Virgo. That is kind of interesting. You are fit into that missing part. But also it will be very interesting to see how we're going to apply this powerful energy and while we waiting for the result of the presidential U.S. presidential election. I mean, everyone care. Don't tell me you don't care. This person who elected will hold the code of a nuclear weapon. And with the tension of the world, you really wish it's someone who are not crazy. Okay, but I think during the election, there's always conflict. There's always dispute. There's always you fight with your neighbor, you fight with your relative, and you fight with your brother and sister. In the end of the day, this beautiful star daily or kite with Mercury and the Pisces there is trying to make things much easier. Say, hey, let's let down of this argument. We are all human beings. We are our neighborhood. No matter who you support, we still have to work together and love each other. Well, this is our new moon update for this month. Before we go, I would like to say our November astro duet. Anyone know? Alejo, do you know?
I think it's
here.
Wendy
I think
and
yes.
Victor, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
me and Victor Oliver,
Yes.
journal editor. And I think we're
Yes.
going to be talking about Pluto and Aquarius.
Indeed,
Yes.
indeed. So that would be the 21st of November. 21st of November, that would be the astrological duet. But I also want to help Roy about the Kepler day. Roy really care about his baby, about Kepler day. So it's in January, right? 26th of January 2025 in London. And Alejo, could you give us an idea? Because I know you have a little bit idea about the Kepler days.
So first of all, it's in London, but you can also attend online. And actually, the recordings are going to be available for, I think it was 90 days. I don't remember if it was 90 days. Yeah. And it's all related to there is one of the publications that the AA has, is called Correlation, that it's more kind of scientific research on astrology. So it's more about trying to see statistically how does astrology work and how to kind of find, it's more like a study-based way to approach astrology. So the conference is going to be about, different researchers, and they're going to be sharing their findings. So it's a great opportunity if you're interested in astrology from a more scientific perspective, statistical perspective, if you want to try to find why astrology works, and if you want to make new connections, if you're a researcher, or if you just want to learn. Yes.
Okay, cool. But also, I think we already have date of next year, 2025's Astrological Association conference.
Yes, we do have the date. Now, the date is going to be, where is it? It's not my diary.
So it's the end of August.
Yes.
So
Everyone looking calendar.
Yes, you should have asked us before we start playing recording.
Yeah, I think
That's all right.
No, it is the 29th and 30th
Yes.
of August. It's going to be in Nottingham, and Alejo's going to have. It's going to great
Alejo
video.
Alejo already explained. I already put on YouTube and Instagram. Alejo explained why we call it related to Robin Hood. That is so interesting. But we also calling the speaker. So they need to send them their application in before.
Yes, if you want to speak at the conference, and do listen to Alejo's YouTube video to give you some insight of what we're looking for. So feel free. You've still got pretty much all of November. So the 27th to get them in by. So please do. We're looking for speakers for the conference. It's going to be fun. It's going to be energetic, and Robin Hood style. Come join us.
I'm just imagining.
Can I also say too? Tomorrow is the launch of Stella, the proper full launch of Stella. So guys, you need to it's free, and please distribute. We want you to read this. It's pop. It's great. It's modern. It's for everyone. And so it's proper launches tomorrow. There was a soft launch in September. This is Victor Oliver's flagship new publication. So you just go onto the AA website, register, and you'll receive it as soon as it's out tomorrow. So it's very exciting.
Definitely. If you want to know more about the Stella, this afternoon, this is Thursday afternoon, 5 p.m. UK time, I'm going to interview Victor. So he will tell us more about this Stella, and look very fun, very interesting. The cover is Taylor Swift. So we are looking forward to what he's going to bring us. Well, thanks everyone. Yeah, thank you, Wendy.
Sorry.
Thank you, Alejo. Yeah.
The interview with Victor is going to be on Instagram, right? Or here
on Instagram?
YouTube?
Yes, on Instagram. Yes.
And
So
at what
well,
time? 5:30, did you say?
5:30 today, 5:30 Thursday, 31st October, while we are busy open door for dispenser candies. Okay, thanks everyone. Thank you, Wendy, joining us. Thank you,
Thank
Alejo,
you.
joining us. Thank you, everyone, joining us. See you next
Thank you,
month.
everyone.
See you.
Bye
Bye bye.
bye.
Bye.